Welcome back, Nerd Nation. Today we have Ethan Thompson, our area sales manager out of Columbus. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm stoked.
You're here for the mid-year review.
That's what they tell me, yeah.
Flew in late last night.
I did.
Now, your family just moved here, your parents.
Yep, they moved here like May 1st or whatever. So they just moved here. So
moved here.
So they picked me up from the airport. It was nice to see them. I haven't seen them basically since we moved out to Ohio. So it was good to see them.
Cool. And how long have you been out in Ohio then?
Very beginning of the year. I think we left Utah December 31st, New Year's Eve. Super fun way to celebrate the new year in Wyoming. And then, it's like January 3rd, I think is like when we got to Ohio.
Cool. And you guys are actually picking up big time out there in Ohio.
Yeah, we are. It's going good.
So you have Johnny G out there.
Yep.
And then you also recruited your brother and some buddies, right?
Yeah, I got my brother out there. My brother Spencer. He got back from his mission very end of March. He served in Tampa Bay for 2 years. So he came back after sales boot camp of his mission, and he's been doing really well. He brought a couple buddies out from Seattle, from high school. And then I brought my buddy Landon out, one of my best friends. He actually took over for me at the window company when I left the window company. That's how we became friends. Just came really close. And he's actually lived with us for like a month in Utah, and now he's living with us right now out in Ohio.
Okay, and so you met him through the window company?
Yeah, he's my replacement when I left.
Okay.
We just clicked, like, quick.
Cool. And that's actually how you met Johnny G then, was through Windows. You actually worked for Johnny G. Yeah,
so when I came home from my mission, I don't know how long of a story you want about that, but I came home from my mission. I was working at Papa John's in Seattle before I went to BYU. Go Cougars. And my buddy Braden Jepson hit me up. Was like, hey, man, I got this cool opportunity for you, man. You can go and make like $2,000 a week. I was like, well, what are you doing? He was like, well, I'm setting appointments for a replacement window company. And I was like, bro, like you're getting bamboozled, bro. There's no way. Like, there's no way that's a thing. I was like, send me your bank statement. So he showed me like a screenshot of his bank account. I was like, wow, bro, like $1,500 last week. Like that is stupid money. So I came down. I started there my freshman year at BYU, like a month into school. I didn't have a car, like $300 to my name. I spent that on my I was a simp. I spent it on my now wife. So it worked out. It was a good investment. But I had like no money. And just started working. I had no cars, walking to my areas or getting rides with people that worked there or borrow my cousin's car and just worked my way up. It was fun. And I instantly started making $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 in a week while I was going to school, like working part-time. And I was like, this is like the easiest job ever. This is freaking sick. Worked my way up there. And then and
that was knocking doors, just so
Yeah. That was door knocking, just appointment setting, assessors or whatever we call it here.
Right.
We did that. And then after about 11 months, became the regional sales manager there for John and took over operations for Salt Lake. And then I started to work a lot closer with him.
Okay. And did you move up to Salt Lake at that point, or?
No, we were just in Provo, but I mean, it was the whole state of Utah. We basically covered Ogden to Payson.
Okay.
And just started running that. Started making good money and was loving it. Ended up leaving BYU just to work, making good money. But that's how I started working with John. Ran his city for a little over 2 years.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then, so people always say, like, do you knock doors in the cold?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I do.
So you probably knocked in rain and snow and everything, right?
Yeah. Nothing's nastier than New York, though. That's where I served my mission, and New York was like stupid cold.
Cold to the bone.
Oh, yeah. Way cold. In Manhattan or Brooklyn, those streets, those alleys just turn into like wind tunnels. So you can like lean into the wind and just stand and it'll just hold you up. So after that, to get paid for it when I came home, I was like, this is freaking sick. I already done this for 2 years for free. So it was kind of an easy plug and play.
Nice. And so how long did you work for John? Because that's not the end of that story. So you left, actually, Windows, right?
I did.
When John left?
About the same time as John left, yeah. I wanted to he was leaving, and I was loyal to John.
Yeah.
And maybe it had run its course, maybe it hadn't, but I had a lot of buddies that were doing pest control, doing solar sales. I figured, hey, he's leaving, I'll try it out. So I went and did a preseason of pest control. Absolutely hated it. I hated it.
With who? What company was that?
It was the Grit.
The Grit?
Yeah, there's some dogs, but I just didn't like it. Didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't like selling pest control. Didn't like the lifestyle. So I did a preseason, and then I came back home. Started just closing deals again for the window company, kind of self-generated.
Were you married at this time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got married after I'd been home for like a year.
Okay.
So right when I became, actually, when John called me to say, hey, you're going to be the regional area sales manager for Salt Lake, we were driving back from our honeymoon.
Okay.
And I had originally planned on leaving to go do pest control sales But then I was like, well, I can't say no to this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were married. So that came back, started closing self-gens for the window company just to make some money while I figured it out. And then started working in, I reached out to a couple solar companies that had reached out to me. I was like, I'll try solar out. And it's been awesome.
Yeah. Okay. And so how long have you been married then?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And your wife actually worked for it. Well, she's back.
She's back.
Yeah. Helping out because we need an OC out there.
Yep.
Okay. And how did you meet your wife?
We met on my mission for the church in New York City. She spoke Spanish. I spoke Haitian Creole. So there wasn't a lot of overlap, but we had a lot of mutual friends. And so when we came back to school, she invited my roommate to a party at her house like the first week of school. And I was like, yo, maybe she has some cute friends. I was like, yo, see if I can come. And he's like, do you remember Elder Thompson? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, can you come? So I came, and then she opened the door, and I was like, I'm just here for her. Like I just wanted to get to know her. And then in typical LDS fashion, we moved pretty quick and got engaged and got married. Yeah, nice. She's the best.
That's cool. And so she is currently out there because she didn't come back with you, right?
No, she's in Utah actually right now.
Okay.
Just visiting friends and family.
Okay.
She was going to take a summer trip, and she's like, well, if Ethan's going to be gone for like 3 days, I might as well just do it while he's gone. So.
And she's from Utah originally, right?
Provo, yeah. Go Team Birds.
Yeah, cool. All right, now you're a sports guy.
I like sports. Yeah, I love it.
Played basketball in high school.
I did.
And your favorite team is?
Right now it's the Mavericks.
The Mavericks.
I just like Luka.
You follow players.
All players.
All right. And then what about college sports? Are you basketball, football?
Dude, I love pro sports. That's my thing.
It's usually the reverse. It's
you
weird.
Like college more?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't.
You don't. You don't
no.
follow.
I mean, I watch like BYU play, and I watch March Madness, and I watch a couple college football games. But I much prefer the NBA and the NFL for sure.
Okay. And do you follow football as well, or just basketball?
Yeah, I do sports is like my life, dude. If I'm driving, I'm just listening to Colin Cowherd, or I'm just listening to FS1. Like that's all I listen to every day. Working out, I don't listen to music. I just listen to sports talk.
Sports talk. And then, who's your favorite football team then?
Seahawks, 100%. 100%.
So you and Galen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have that connection.
We're brothers over that.
Cool. And then, so what else do you like to do?
Make money, work out. Like to work out. Like to play basketball.
So who's going to win between you in an arm wrestling match, you and Johnny G?
No, it's not Johnny, 100%. 100%. He's short, though. It's like he just has to go like that. Like I've got to go all the way down.
So in a wrestling match, who would win?
Oh, dude. I see. He probably fights dirty, though. I don't know. You know, Johnny played college basketball.
I didn't know that.
But I would still beat him in basketball without a doubt. I don't know where the camera is. I would smoke him.
Have you ever played with him?
No, he doesn't play anymore. He's too bulky.
He probably couldn't even get the.
I don't even think he could shoot anymore. His shoulders are too big. They just block.
I didn't know that about Johnny G.
Yeah, Mount Vernon Nazarene, I think it's called. It's probably not a real school, but he says it's real.
Have you seen the highlight films or anything?
No, I've never seen anything. Mine are on YouTube, though. You can check it out.
Did you play college?
No, I just played high school.
High school.
Yeah. Yeah, 6'4" power forwards don't transition well into the college ball as well. But I had a couple offers, but nothing that was actually like legit worth doing.
Worth doing?
Yeah.
Cool. So tell us, what else do you like to do?
Fun fact about me, I was an all-state singer growing up. I love singing.
Really?
Uh-huh. Love singing, love music.
Country?
I like country.
Really?
I love country, yeah. I actually recorded Die a Happy Man on Saturday, a little cover version, so I'll send it to you when I'm done. But my brother Spencer makes really good music, like really good music, like 40, 50,000 listens on like SoundCloud and stuff like that. So he and his friend Matt, who are living out in Ohio with us right now, they brought their studio over, like kind of portable studio, and then we wrote some songs and sung. It was really fun. He wrote songs, I sung. I don't write songs, but love singing, love playing basketball, love working out. Pretty simple stuff. I love nature. Love nature.
I do notice that you and your wife do a lot of. You guys get out on the weekends and go to places and hikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, Ohio doesn't have a lot of nature, but we try to find it, man. Love that. Love fishing. Fishing is freaking awesome. I love reading my scriptures and praying.
Nice. So tell me this: what's the hardest thing about knocking doors?
The decision to do it. Knocking's not hard. and it's fun.
Hardest door is your car door.
100%.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the door to your house to get to the car. Because the car drive is kind of fun. You're like listening to music or talking with a homie or driving out, and you're like, this is fun. And once you start knocking, it's kind of eating your bag, and you're like, this is dope. I'm the man. I'm the best that's ever done this. Like you feel good, right? So it's gratifying. But the thought of being on your couch and you're like, you know what doesn't sound good right now? Like getting yelled at for a no soliciting. So I think the hard part is like the decision to go do it. But knocking itself is not like it's not like people always talk, oh, knocking so hard. I'm like, we're not like looking for landmines in Afghanistan. Like It's not like crazy. Yeah. We talk to people. It's not crazy.
It's interesting because when I look back, and I was going to be an attorney, and
so was I.
And then I got into sales.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's pretty good money. You know,
yeah.
Making $100,000 during the summer.
Don't have to go to law school.
Don't have to go to law school. So did you ever think you'd be? Because you said you wanted to be an attorney?
That was my plan. I didn't know sales existed. Like, I didn't know what that was. Like, my granddad does real estate, so he was always like, you'll be a great salesman. I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be a lawyer. Like, I was all about stability. So I came home, and again, in Seattle, there's no such thing as summer sales. That's not a thing, right? People don't sell anything. And so that's why, again, my plan was just go to school, like, graduate, go to law school, like, do that. But yeah, you start making money and you're like, like I'm making, six figures and I'm just talking to people, working part-time, man. I'm like, why would I go to school?
It's interesting because that's how I got into it. A buddy literally just talked me into going out and knocking doors. And then it's, Babe calls it the drip, you get the sales and you get that.
It's addictive.
It's addictive.
I'll never forget my first sale ever in anything was a window company. It was like my second day knocking for them. I went out to knock doors for about 2 hours before I had class, riding 150. And I was borrowing my cousin's car. I went and knocked in Linden, if you know where that is.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just getting some time in. And I was knocking about an hour in, and this old couple answers the door, and they were just like, yeah, we'll hear more, but it would have to be today. We've actually talked about doing windows, but it'd have to be today. And I was like, I don't even know if we can do that. So I called my manager. I'm like, hey, can we do something today? He called our sales guy. Sales guy came out. I went to school, and I was sitting in riding 150, just like doing my thing. And then I got like a notification in GroupMe. It was like, congrats to Ethan T on his first sale. It was a same day cash sale for like $7,100. And I was just like, and I was like, this is cool, bro.
And this is easy, too.
I was like, dude, I didn't do anything. Because again, coming from the mission, it's just an absolute cakewalk. I just like never looked back.
That's awesome. What's the hardest day you've ever had in sales?
So many to choose from. I don't know.
Besides dealing with Johnny G.
Yeah, that's the hardest. No, that's my boy. Hardest day, I don't know if I could pinpoint one specific one. I'm sure there's a couple days during pest control where I was like, this sucks. It's been 8 hours and I'm at like 2 deals and I hate my life and this isn't fulfilling and I'm like not enjoying anything. I haven't seen my wife all day. The other thing that really sucks is like cancellations. I had a crazy month in September for solar last September, like crazy. And then had a bunch of cancellations, but I made like a third of what I should have. So it was just, those are probably the worst days where it's just like, oh, like 2 of my fat, 10 kilowatt deals fell off. That's so sick. So that was, I don't know if I could pinpoint a specific day, but just days like that.
So it's really funny. So my son's out knocking, doing pest control with his buddies.
Who's he selling for?
Aptive.
Of course he is.
And he's actually doing really good. So I was talking to him last week and he was having a rough week. So I thought, he's like, dude, it's hard, the rejection, how do you get used to that? And then I was talking to him, I was like, hey, how did your week end up last week? He's like, oh, I was number 7 in the company.
Yeah,
and it was like 2,500 reps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just weird, the mentality that you have to, that you deal with in sales, right?
One of my best friends, his name's Bo King. He sells for the Grit still. He calls me complaining every single day. Just like, my job sucks. I hate my life. Like, why am I do this? He's been out for like 2 months. Him and his wife are both knocking. They've made $150,000 this year. So it's like, you made $150,000. Like, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Like, your life sucks, but like, you work 5 months out of the year, and you're probably gonna make like $250,000.
But what's interesting is that's how sales is, and that's why not very many people can do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking before, and you're like, it's easy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. You're not. What did you say? It's not landmine. You're not doing
Yeah,
landmines.
I say it's not. You're not freaking cleaning an elephant's butt. Like you're talking to people.
Yeah, but what's crazy is how emotionally hard that can be sometimes.
Oh, 100%. So hard at the same time. It's all mental.
So my hardest thing with sales was getting my wife to buy into that non-stability, like believe in me as opposed to that, steady paycheck.
Yeah.
Has that been the same for you or?
Oh, Ingrid's so supportive. We've had a crazy past couple of years. She's all about stability. She comes from an immigrant family. I think she's third generation, immigrant, but her grandparents came over from Puerto Rico and Ecuador. And for her, she doesn't understand we could do this or all the theoretical situations of sales and this like that. But she's been really supportive. And it helps when you make money. It helps when paychecks come. So it's one. Yeah, if I sucked, she probably wouldn't be about it. But I've been doing okay. So far she's still with me.
That's awesome. And then, so you guys have lived. So you guys married in Provo, and then is Ohio your first outside of Utah?
Outside of Utah, yeah. We moved a lot. I moved a lot. We talked about that yesterday with my parents. We got married, we lived in Provo for a little bit, moved to Lehigh for a little bit, lived in Orem for about a year, and then we moved to Ohio. So, yeah, we've been moving a lot.
Yeah, that's a salesman's life.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we do. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So one last question. We've got our meeting starting here soon. But what, I guess here's my question I want you to leave your advice and wisdom with the team. So you guys have had a lot of success out there. It started slow, but mainly because of weather. Once the weather turned around, you guys have literally just taken off, haven't looked back. What is the one thing that you guys have done that has impacted your success out there?
I've started studying Stoicism a lot. Not to be corny, I don't know a lot about it. I'm not some Stoic, I don't even know the word, just fanatic or whatever. But I've just tried to make the decisions to just do the things you're supposed to. Do the things that make you money. Control the controllable. Burn the ships. Stay the course. All those adages.
Right.
It's true though. It's personally, I don't want to be in Ohio forever, but I need to get Ohio up and running in order to move or to leave it, right?
Right.
So I can either go home at 6 p.m. or I can go knock for an extra 2 hours. One of those gets me money and one of those gets me towards my goal. The other doesn't.
Right.
And I'm just stuck there longer.
So the little things.
Just consistency, just doing the things you're supposed to. There's no secret sauce. It's just should I go knock? Should I go run this 10 a.m. that I really don't want to run? Yeah, because that's what one of those scenarios will be good. One of them won't. There's a lot of stuff going on. The biggest focus I've found is just on controlling the controllable. Do what you can. Do what you're supposed to, and it's just a numbers game from that point. You got to get enough homes, knock enough doors, talk to enough people.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I mean, you just have to be disciplined enough to do it.
Just do what you're supposed to, man. It's not. Yeah, it's crazy. Sounds simple, but it's harder to do than most people. Otherwise, everyone would do it.
No, I agree. Awesome. Well, Ethan, thanks for joining us, and it's always good to see you. We don't get you here much, but it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
All right.